So, Kevin, your phone rings. It's me on the other end saying, Kevin, I'd like some voiceover work. What do you want me to be like? What's your ideal client? Who is it that you want to work with?
I think somebody who, Julie, realises that, first of all, that there's a dimension to they're keen to see their business promoted. I mean, aren't we all? But he's trying to look at a little more creatively. Somebody who realises that actually their own story is important. I mean, this is, of course, we're in a program here where you're talking about knowing your business and telling stories about business. But people don't realise, and I've had a couple of conversations even this week, personally and sort of by email, encouraging people to realise that they're their own best asset. You know, it's about them. You'll read their homepage. It'll have a whole sort of wash of information, but people want to know who they're dealing with. They'd like to hear even their voice a little bit, just to kind of see who they're dealing with. And I think people who realise that telling their story is an important part of their business, not necessarily telling the story of their business, but something of their passion, something about themselves, and it lends an authenticity and an integrity to what they're trying to do. And I think people, therefore, that builds a certain trust. And I think in a day and age where people are trying to, that the whole of our society is awash with promotion and advertising, and it builds up a sort of cynical defence, doesn't it? I think if people can use their own stories to promote themselves and what they're doing, and so you ring me and I say, well, I think I can perhaps help you to do that. You perhaps, might not feel confident in having a sort of video about yourself talking, but there are other ways of doing it. It can be done through interview, it can be done more obliquely, it can be done more subtly, with more nuance. And I think that sort of advice and that sort of way of looking at it would be something I could help with.